is what all of you need to remember. And this is going to be a very important act, because all of you in your college, this must be implemented. Hope I'm making it clear to all of you. And so please see that this act is not, waved off. Rather, it should be taken seriously. And for your benefit, I am an empaneled trainer. I'm an empaneled trainer of Government of India. And for Karnataka, I give lot of trainings on POSH. So if you have anything, you can call me, and you can discuss with me for this. Okay, let me move on. As we go, this is my objective, that today I want all of you to know more about the meaning of sexual harassment, aggrieved women, workplace, IC and LC. These are the major terminologies that are there in the Act. And this other points that I might touch, because it all depends on the time. And so I want all of you to also know more about the duties of employer, because you are representing your college. And so what is your employer, that is your college principal, needed to be done in with respect to POSH. Okay. And the steps to constitute IC. There are so many ICs being constituted, but it is or is not in line with the Act. So please see that it is as per the Act. And so please go back to the Act and read the Act again. And the last thing that I might talk about is the reporting format, how you need to report to about the POSH in your college to the higher ups. Okay, these are the very important things that maybe I'll be looking into while I'm discussing. And as we go on, there are some things which is very, very much required as a teacher for you to know. That is the fundamental rights. And this is as per the Constitution, Article 14, Article 15, Article 16, and Article 21 to be remembered by all of you. And I don't want to, spend time here because you can read this. Remember Article 14, 15, 16, and 21, which you will be discussing whenever you are invited for any of the programs. Please touch upon all these articles. These articles are found in Constitution. And so please touch upon this before you move on. And this is something that CEDAW. CEDAW is Convention on Elimination of All Forms of Discrimination Against Women. CEDAW was signed by India in 1992, which means signature was not put only by India. It is you and me. We have signed. We have signed this general recommendation number 19, which recognizes the ill effects of sexual harassment. And so we are supposed to stop any sexual harassment, any kind of sexual harassment in and around our campus. And we are responsible for that. Hope I'm making sense. Any questions? I want all of you to either raise your hand in the chat on the screen itself if you have any questions, and I'm ready to answer immediately. I don't want to take it to the end. Yeah, Dr. Said. Dr. Said.
Yes, sir.
Yeah. Your voice is not audible, Dr. Said. Your voice is not audible. Please stand somewhere and
ಕೇಳಿಸ್ತಿದೆಯಾ ಮೇಡಮ್ ಈಗ?
yeah.
ಈಗ ಈ ಆಕ್ಟ್ ವುಮೆನ್ಸ್ ಇದೆಯಲ್ಲ ಮೇಡಮ್, ಆ ತರನೇ ಆಕ್ಟ್ ಜೆಂಟ್ಸ್ ಗೆ ಏನಾದ್ರು ಇದೆಯಾ ಈ ತರ ಆಕ್ಟ್ ಅಂತ ನನ್ನ ಪ್ರಶ್ನೆ.
ಓಕೆ. ಜೆಂಟ್ಸ್ ಗಿರುವಂತ ಆಕ್ಟ್ ಇಷ್ಟುವರೆಗೆ ಇದ್ದಿದ್ದನ್ನ ಉಪಯೋಗಿಸಿದೀವಲ್ಲ, ಇನ್ನು ಲೇಡೀಸ್ ಗಿರೋ ಆಕ್ಟ್ ಅನ್ನ ಕೇಳಿಸ್ಕೊಳ್ಳಿ. ಇಷ್ಟುವರೆಗೆ ಇದ್ದಿದ್ದ ಆಕ್ಟ್ ಎಲ್ಲ ಜೆಂಟ್ಸ್ ಮಾತ್ರ ಉಪಯೋಗಿಸಿದ್ದು, ಹೆಂಗಸರು ಉಪಯೋಗಿಸ್ಲೇ ಇಲ್ಲ. ಸೊ let us encourage women also to use some act.
ಎಸ್ ಮೇಡಮ್.
Okay. Anybody who has heard about Vishaka guidelines? Have you heard about Vishaka guidelines?
No, ma'am.
Anybody who has heard? Pooja says no.
No, madam.
Sorry?
No, ma'am.
Parshuram, you said
No,
something.
madam, we didn't hear, madam. Yeah, madam.
No,
This is
madam.
first time, madam, you are hearing.
You are hearing for the first time. Okay. Anybody else
Yes, madam.
who has heard about it? Anybody who has heard about it? I just want to know if you have heard about it. If you have not heard, how did you write your exams? You had to write your exams, no? How did you write your exams? These are very important, guidelines, and especially for the colleges, schools and colleges. You must know this. And this is a story I want to tell you about Bhavri Devi, who was gang raped in 1992 by some villagers in Rajasthan, just because she went and stopped a child marriage. Okay, she stopped a child marriage, and so she was gang raped. And she said, when I was working, I was raped, and so please support me. And this is to the women and child department, she asked. And so they said, no, this happened at home. When you were at home, this happened. But she said, just because I stopped some child marriage, they came and did this, so help me. But again, the department denied. They said, we are not going to help you. And the whole thing went up to Supreme Court. And in Supreme Court, it was said that this is very strange and it should not have happened. And so even before an act came in, there was something called Vishaka guidelines. Vishaka is a group of NGOs which came together to prepare a guideline to take care of the women who are working, the working women. Okay. Okay. So now you know Vishaka guidelines was before 2013. That is before this act came, POSH Act came. We were referring to Vishaka guidelines. But now, if your college, your office is still looking at something like Vishaka guidelines, please tell your authorities not to look at Vishaka guidelines. Rather, we have an act. We have an act which says, prevention, prohibition, and redressal, how to do all these with respect to sexual harassment. And so please change the whole trajectory if it is Vishaka guidelines in your office, your college, rather. Yeah. I'm not going to take so much time out here. All these are some things that you might be knowing. Yeah, I'll just move this. And last thing that you have to remember is about the date. That is 9/12/2013. The bill became act, and that is when it was published in official gazette. So this you can remember, 9/12/2013. Okay, when you look at this act, you can see very important three words, that is prevention, protection, prevention, and redressal. So if you are looking at all these three, it is directly looking at asking you to take care of women, protect women, prevent women from sexual harassment, and redress if anything has happened. You are the ones who should be redressing it. And so redress it. Okay, this is an act where in your college, if you have 10 members working or 10 or more employees, please see that your college has got an IC. IC is called internal committee. Okay, and see that there is a committee which is going to be formed in your college, and this applies to whole of India, which means you are also one of them. So who is called an aggrieved woman? Aggrieved woman, in Kannada it is called Badita Mahile. Okay, the woman who is aggrieved, who is suffering. So any woman who is working in your office, in your college, as regular employee, temporary employee, ad hoc, or daily wage, anybody can be a person who can become an aggrieved woman. Okay, and this can also be like in your college, there can be some construction work going on, and there is a contractor coming up with some ladies to work. And if that lady who comes with the contractor and she gets harassed in that place, then she can also file a complaint. Okay, and it can be even someone who is a research scholar or someone who is visiting, anybody, a volunteer might be there, anybody who comes into your campus with respect to something inquiry, or to find out how what is the fees structure, or to talk about the students or anything. Anyone, any female who walks into your campus at that point of time, if she is harassed or sexually harassed by anybody in the campus, then she has all rights to file a complaint. And the last one, that is the women who are working in a dwelling house, that is a house, in your house, maybe in anybody's house. Okay, if because there might not be so many women, there may not be 10 employees, but there is one or two female who are working, and she gets harassed, which means she is also liable to file a complaint, or committed to file a complaint against the person who has sexually harassed. And so we are looking at this person also to go ahead and file a complaint. And where does she complain? It is not in the IC, that she doesn't find an IC, but she can find a LC. Where is this LC now? Any idea where LC is formed? LC is formed in DC office. Okay, Deputy Commissioner's office, you will find LC. LC is local committee. In Kannada, it is Sthanika Samiti. Okay. Any questions so far? Any questions so far? No? Yeah,
Ma'am,
please ask.
do you think in police station also they have this?
Yes. In police station also they have. Bindu, you are asking this question, right?
ma'am.
Okay, they also have to have an IC in police station if they have 10 employees.
Okay, ma'am. Thank you.
Okay, are we through? Any other questions? Can you see the screen now? I'm going to
Yes,
show
ma'am.
you. I'm going to show you a small clipping, a small video of 3-4 minutes. Okay, please be attentive. Please look at, watch what is happening.
Ma'am, it is not audible.
Madam, we can't hear the audio for this video.
Could you see this? What did you notice?
Could not see, madam.
Nothing is there, ma'am.
What made you feel?
ಮ್ಯಾಮ್ ಅದು ಆಡಿಯೋನು ಕೇಳಿಸ್ಲಿಲ್ಲ ಮತ್ತೆ ವಿಡಿಯೋನು ಏನು ಕಾಣಿಸ್ಲಿಲ್ಲ ಮ್ಯಾಮ್.
Sorry, someone is talking.
ಆಡಿಯೋ ವಿಡಿಯೋ ಏನು ಕಾಣಿಸಿಲ್ಲ ಮೇಡಮ್, ಅದಕ್ಕೆ ಕೇಳಿಸಿಲ್ಲ.
Amrita?
Yes, ma'am.
Amrita is talking. Your
Ma'am,
voice is
actually,
not, your voice is not audible. Your voice
ma'am,
is
I will
not
start you.
audible. Oh, the audio was not there?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes,
No,
madam.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes means what? Audio was there?
Audio was not there.
No, there was no audio.
Video also.
There was no,
No
audio
audio,
No
madam.
audio, no video also. Ma'am.
And video.
We didn't get anything.
and video.
Yes,
Ah,
ma'am.
yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am. Both.
You didn't see video also?
No, ma'am.
No, ma'am. No, ma'am.
How many of you did not see videos? Anybody who saw the video? Because
No,
when
madam.
I started, I asked if the video was visible.
Only half video, madam. Half video.
Initially,
the
it was
video
Only
available.
starting part we have.
How come half video?
But in between, the video was pausing continuously, ma'am.
You didn't get that?
Only starting part.
Why didn't you speak up
No,
then?
ma'am.
Starting part.
No, we informed you, ma'am.
Okay. Do you want me to show it again?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Actually, at that time, it was a network issue, ma'am. From your end, I think so.
Okay, I'm trying to show you again. Okay, leave it. I don't think I should be showing it again. This is about a lady who is in office, who is having trouble with her boss, and he always calls her to her chamber, to his chamber, and just to see her. That is what the video all about is. But towards the end, this lady breaks the silence, and she says, how can you do this? Okay, every time you call only to see me. Nothing happens. And so that is how it is. And so maybe you can get the video once we finish this. Maybe I can share the video link to all of you. Okay.
Okay, ma'am.
PPT. Is this visible now?
No, ma'am.
No, madam.
No, madam.
Screen is not visible, ma'am.
Well, I got disconnected. Can you see this?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah. Okay. Thank you. Maybe there is some hitch in my on my end, so maybe that's the reason why it is not seen. Okay, so I'm just moving the slide. Let us go quickly. I want all of you to keep your questions ready so that we can start answering to it. Okay, and so now I'm going to find out tell you more about the workplace. What is a workplace? According to the Act, any place, it might be a government or private or any, workplace, even, a meeting place, a place where you go eat your food as a party, you all party in a place, maybe a hotel, somewhere you want to give a party. So if that happens, that is called a workplace. Even when you travel, you might be traveling with your people, office people. So that is also treated as workplace. Okay. So any questions, please ask me. Okay, here I want to give you a small example. I was traveling with one of my colleague to present a paper in one of the university, and as I was going to this place, this a colleague of mine, he said, um, he was the professor and I was the assistant professor, and we were just we were okay. We had a good time. We shared all the informations. We were on a very good page, and as we went, we presented our papers. He presented his in his own whatever place, and I presented in another place. And then as we finished, we came together, and then as we were entering into the hostel rooms, and I was on the first floor, and so he was on the second floor, I believe. And so as I was going up, the this person asked me, madam, can I see your room? So it was right there near the stairs, and so I just opened the door, opened the lock, and so he was the first one to enter into my room, and I was still standing near the door. And so as soon as he entered into the room, he looked at the room, and he said, oh madam, this is very small. And then he went straight to my cot, because even if it is for 2 3 days that I was staying in that room, that is my room. So for me, it was my room. And when I saw him going to my cot, it was like, oh my god, he was going to entering into my room, and he's going near my cot, and I was feeling so bad, and I was standing near the door, and I said, okay, now let me see what is happening. And he just went and sat on my cot. And as soon as he sat on the cot, I thought, okay, sitting is okay now. And within seconds, he stretched himself on the cot. He slept on the cot. It was like, oh my god, I couldn't bear that. And then after that, I could see him jumping, almost literally, though he was in a sleeping position, he was jumping on the cot, and he said, this is not so good, madam, this is not so good. And then finally, he said, he got up from the cot, looked at me, still standing at the door. He said, madam, just give this room away and come to my room, come and stay in my room. And that was the last day we had to return back. That was the last night that we were staying there. I said, sir, can you come out of this room? And immediately he sensed the way I was talking to him, and I just pushed him. Literally, it was like, I wanted to throw him out of my room. And he went out, and I entered in. I locked the room for till the next day. It was like, it was unbearable. And as soon as I came back, and I gave my I was the aggrieved woman kind of a thing. I gave my complaint to my boss out there, and my boss looked at it and said, "Madam, ಕೊಚ್ಚೆ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಕಲ್ಲಿಸಿದ್ರೆ ಕೊಚ್ಚೆ ನೀರು ನಿಮ್ಮ ಮೈ ಮೇಲೆನೆ ಬೀಳುತ್ತೆ. So it's better you don't give this." And though I was stubborn, and I said, "No, I want you to address this." And that is when he finally called and the other party to his chamber. And there was one more person who was trying to pacify me, and all three of them sat together and started telling why you did this, why you said this, and all. And that is when this man said, "Oh, yo, madam, did you think that I was looking at you in a different angle? Please don't do that. You are like my daughter, madam." So that is the final words of his. And that sir said, my head said, uh, please. He just showed his eyes, and he shook his head and said, "Yes, sir. So you have treated her as your daughter. It is so kind of you. So we will end this meeting." And he sent the other person away, and I was still sitting there without knowing why this is not concluded the right way, why it is happening like this. Maybe all of you might be thinking, what is the end result? End result is, don't do anything like that, is what I was told. Finally, I couldn't move further, because the other person, he was very strong in terms of position, in terms of power, in terms of influence, or whatever. So that is how I was snubbed. And this is before 2013, even before the act came in. So after that, maybe you might be thinking, after that you could have filed. By then he had disappeared. He had moved out from that place. So maybe I could have thought of filing a complaint, because that is the man who has always done this to many women. So maybe all of you might be thinking of, now this is one of the examples I gave. I want all of you to start thinking, not so much, there was nothing that happened to you, but you do have something, some kind of fear, some kind of the scary thing that comes in front of you. Maybe that is something that we can't express most of the time. And Dr. Syed, if you are there, is there someone who can address such things? If a woman goes through this, and if there is no act which talks about safeguarding her, how do you expect some things like such things to get resolved? And Dr. Syed said, is there something like this for men also? Yes, for men, every time it was men who have been guarded. And so women don't have any protection. In spite of all these acts, even today, there are women who calling me and ask me, what next? It was just the other day, day before yesterday, I got a call from a a woman police from Bangalore. She says she went to the High Court, and there uh, a lawyer, a senior lawyer, misbehaved with her in the premises of the court. Imagine, in the premises of the court, there is a lawyer who misbehaves with a police officer. And she says, can I get any help? So these here, I don't understand how can we express this? Most of the time we are not able to express it. And when we express, people look at women as if something has gone wrong with her. So how do you express? How do you want to take care of yourself? How do you want to take care of your people around you, your students, your colleagues, your friends, even male? There are so many male who call me and say, there are my female colleagues are suffering. How can you help? So there are people who are suffering. And workplace doesn't mean only this area, my office, my campus. No, it is beyond that. Okay. Any questions? Okay. Now I'm coming straight to the sexual harassment definition. Someone wanted to ask me something?
Madam, did Banwari Devi got the justice, madam?
Yeah, the case is still in the court. Ravi, the case is still in the court.
Okay, madam.
Yeah. And she's almost totally sick. And there are so many organizations who are helping her to get well. All these are happening, but she is sick right now. And so don't know how her conditions are very bad, pathetic, but you can see still the case is not resolved. Okay, let me move on. Definition of sexual harassment. All of you, keep a note of it. The very first thing is physical contact or advances. Anybody who is going to come and touch you or attempt to touch is also yields to sexual harassment. A demand or request for sexual favor. A demand which says you come for chai, you come for evening party, or you come for this, that, whatever the demand might be. And in return, I will give you a promotion. I'll talk to the boss. I will help you in this way. This is called also a sexual harassment. Sexually colored remarks. I want all of you to remember, irrespective of male and female. Okay, all of you, please remember, if you have seen a movie and you are standing in front of your office and talking about the movie, and while you're talking, you might be looking at some lady who's passing by, and you are telling, oh, you should have seen that lady, how she was. That lady who is walking next to you can file a complaint against you. Okay, she can also file a complaint against you about sexually colored remarks. You might be talking about a film, but you are looking at her and talking, and so she can file a complaint. So you might be asking, how can I now, is it you can't talk in the college, in the premises? Yes, you cannot talk all that in the college. The premises is not to talk about your, fancy films and serials that you have watched. Your college is purely for academics and talk about academics only. And whatever activity that you are supposed to do, don't talk anything about what you have seen outside. Showing pornography, so you know what it is, because all of us are well known about so many people sending, forwarding messages, etc., etc. And please do not ever forward such things, be it male, be it female. Well, by the way, you might be wondering if females are also, arrested if there is a complaint against her under sexual harassment. Yes, females are also arrested. So this is a very good example where in Food Corporation of India recently, it's not recently, maybe 3-4 years back, there was a mail from a female employee's mailbox, which goes to another female, which talks about some points about sexual harassment. But this lady, from whose mailbox it is gone, she says, I have not sent this, but there was someone who has hacked her mail and used that platform to be sent. But here, the police was looking even for that lady who, from whose mailbox it had gone, and she also had to go underground till she got bail. So, which means sexual harassment can be on anybody, against anybody who has sexually harassed another female. Okay. Other offensive or derogatory pictures or cartoons. Any such pictures or cartoons that you might be having, please don't bring it to the office, the workplace. Workplace is not a place where you can bring all that. So if that is brought in, please keep it in your personal baggage and do not display it. Okay. And there was a man who was known to be a good employee in an office, a clerical employee. He used to be very, decent in the office. There were many female working there, the clerical grade people, and they were in the same office room. And but this man, though he was never looking at this lady, any ladies in that room, he would work, he would do his work, and he would go home. But every woman had this doubt. There was something that he was hiding in the almara. He had everyone has got their own almaras, and so what he used to do is, while working, he would go open his almara door and he would look at the door, from inside. So women were, people who were working there, they were doubting that there was something inside. And so they went and requested the, boss of that office to intervene and find out what is there in his almara. And so he said, when the boss came, he said, no, I cannot show anything. But finally he was convinced that any property in the office belongs to the office. So finally he had to give the keys. And that is when the almara was opened and they could see a nude picture of a female on the almara door inside. He had put, and he had, whenever he wants to see, he would open, see, and then close. That is how he was doing. So, and even remember, even your table, you usually put a calendar, your whatever, and in under that, glass on the table, you should ensure that nothing such, derogatory pictures are kept.
It is complete to
Yeah, thanks, Shruti. Okay, so I request all of you to be very alert whenever it comes to your your cabin, your place, workplace, work area, please ensure that it is free from any derogatory pictures or cartoons that you might have pasted or anybody else might have pasted. And this is a alert warning sign for every male. Please take care of it. And please remember, there are so many magazines that comes these days which has got such derogatory pictures, and don't take the magazines and keep it on your table. Even that might be harmful for you. Okay, and any sorry, and any other unwelcome physical, verbal, and non-verbal. Okay, all these are things. Usually people think that, okay, if I speak only, there is some problem. No, even if you don't speak but you are acting it out, you are showing something which is non-verbal but which is derogatory, and people are not women are not happy with that, then that is also liable for complaint against you. So please take care of it. Any questions so far? No? Okay, who is an employer? Employer is anybody who is taking care of that office. It can be a government office, it can be a private office, okay? Even a dwelling house, a house in which you are staying, okay? That is also the head of that place is the employer. And please remember your college. Maybe it's a small college, it might be a PU college, it might be whatever college. Okay, don't think that director or directorate, they are responsible, they are the employers. No, your principal, the person who is head in that office is called the employer and not your directorate. Okay, any questions so far? Okay, duties. What are the duties of an employer? You, all of you who are listening right now, you are supposed to get back and see if the duties of the employer is is taken care of or abided by. The very first thing is, please see that your work environment is safe. Display. I want all of you to remember, if you have 10 employees in your office, please display who are there in the committee. The committee members should be displayed in a place which is seen by everyone. Okay, and in that, name of the committee member and phone numbers should be written. Okay, and that is to be displayed. If anybody has got any problem, they should be getting back to you immediately. Organize workshops. Now and then in your workplace, please organize workshops or trainings often. It is not one time. Don't say that I had done 3 years back or 2013 when the act came, I did. No, no, no. Every year, at least minimum 2 times, you need to organize either a workshop or a training for your employees. Okay. And ensure that there is sufficient facility for anyone. If there is a complaint, the complainant and the committee should be able to sit in a place and do the inquiry. Okay, for that, sufficient place should be provided for the committee, and this should be an exclusive room for the IC committee. Okay, attendance of the respondent and the witness should be also provided. Whenever they come in, help them to give all the information details for the committee. And please provide any assistance if the aggrieved woman needs. If she says, I need to go to the police station, not, I don't believe in IC, then please help the lady to go and file her complaint in the police station. And this is what the employer will be doing. Help her, take her to the police station and help her to file the complaint. Okay. Any questions so far? I'm asking you questions to come up with questions because
I
this
have a
is
doubt.
very important.
What if
Yeah,
the
Bini.
resident is like from interstate, or we are going out of the place? That means it is not within our place. So what we need to do at that point of time, if we go out of the state to attend a conference and if we encounter such kind of things, what is the best
Okay.
thing we can do then?
Okay, Bindu. When you are going out with your colleague, you have a colleague and you are going with your colleague, a male partner, okay, someone who is from your office, and this man misbehaves, you need to come back to your office and file a complaint in your office. And if you are going out alone and there is one male outside your campus in another office, then you have to file a complaint there. Or you can also come back and file a complaint here in your IC and ask them to take care of it. And another thing, another way of filing complaint is you can go to She Box. Have you heard of She Box? Anybody?
Yes, ma'am.
So you can file a complaint in She Box. And when it comes to She Box takes care of where the person is, and his office will also be intimated by the central office, central government. This is a portal in the ministry, and so it will be intimated there. Sorry.
Thank you so much, ma'am.
Hope it's clear. Any other questions?
ನಾವು ಕಂಪ್ಲೇಂಟ್ ಫೈಲ್ ಮಾಡ್ಬೇಕಂದ್ರೆ ಎವಿಡೆನ್ಸ್ ಏನಾದ್ರು ಬೇಕಾಗತ್ತಾ?
ಏನ್ ಬೇಕಾಗುತ್ತೆ?
ಎವಿಡೆನ್ಸ್ ಏನಾದ್ರು ಬೇಕಾಗತ್ತಾ?
Complaint file. Okay. When you file a complaint, what are the attachment or evidence that you want to give? Okay. All the transcripts that you have in terms of, maybe WhatsApp transcripts or phone call, whatever, the list, screenshots of all that you can give. Even you can give the recordings if you have. And also you can also bank on the place where you have been and where this happened. Try to find out if there were any CC camera footage, and you can also give that. If you cannot take that and give, you can mention that there was a camera and you can request the IC to go and find out. All these are things. And even you can also think about who was there when this happened, and you can name those people. Okay, witness. You can also talk about the witness, and all these can also be mentioned based on your you have seen all that, and so you can bring in all that in your complaint.
Okay, ma'am. Thank you.
Yeah. Any other questions, please? No questions? I'm moving forward. I'm now going to talk about how to form an internal committee. And most of the colleges, they have formed internal committee, but it is not the right way. Okay. And some of them are still in keeping the Vishaka guidelines. And please go back and check if it is Vishaka guidelines or the POSH Act. And if it is POSH Act, please go by the real correct way of forming the committee. Okay. And internal committee is formed by having a presiding officer who is a women employee, okay, who is at the highest level, the senior most level. It's not by age, but by profession. She should be at the highest senior level and she should preside over the committee, not a male. And if you think there is a male principal and can he be the presiding officer? No, it is a big no. Okay. It is only a woman presiding officer. And the other thing that I would also want all of you to remember is there should be minimum of 50% female in the committee, minimum 50%. And it is not 100%. I did not say 100%, because I can see people tell, oh, idu Nimma committee, this is your female committee, so you, all of you ladies, you become the committee member. No. Can anyone tell me why it should not be 100% female committee?
Ma'am, it's sexual harassment and it is applicable to both men and women.
Okay, so what? So what?
So male students, if we take the college into consideration, if male students are suffering like that, they cannot come. They might hesitate to come and talk to a woman
Okay.
lecturer.
Okay.
So I think it's
Okay, so very well said, Bindu. It is like, you always have that, partiality kind of a thing, biased kind of a thing happening when it comes to, screwed, like female only, male only. Uh, Again, for Syed, Dr. Syed, you asked me why only for women. Again, earlier it was like, all men sitting in that platform asking questions, and today it is female also there. So earlier female were so scared, and it might be one female going up and putting a complaint, and all men would almost snub her, send her off. And today at least women are coming up on the committee. So definitely yes, it is not to be 100% female. If go back and check, all of you, all 45 of you in this call, I want all of you to go back and check if you have how many females are there, how many males are there. Look at the percentage, okay, and see that more than 50% is okay, but not 100% female. Okay, so 50% minimum female should be there in the committee. And please see that the one of them should be an NGO or NGI, who is very much working for the cause of female. Okay, one of them must be a NGO. And you can bring in anybody, you can get anybody, but only thing is you will have to pay the train fare of 2-tier AC and all, and you should also pay the sitting fees of 200 rupees. Venkatesh, you said something. Okay. And this committee, whatever committee that you are forming, it is only for 3 years. And as soon as 3 years is over, the people can change in the committee. Okay. And the committee can be reformed, and you can also bring in the same, officer, presiding officer, senior most person back as one of the committee presiding officer again, because you don't find another senior level officer. So this is how it is. Okay. Yeah, please tell me any question you have. If no question, I'm moving ahead. Any questions? Okay. So minimum of 4 members should be there. 4 member plus 1 presiding officer. You can have that, so that while voting for anything, you don't have any problem. Okay. So 4 plus 1, 5. And 1 person, please bring an NGO. And please don't label them as legal person. Sometimes you tend to bring in some lawyers. Don't bring in lawyer. Might be the person is good at uh, you know addressing anything on the law side, but you don't have to name them as lawyer, because we are not looking at any lawyers or policeman, or we have this fancy title, and we think that you can put all of them. No, you just bring in a person who knows legal issues and who is capable of guiding the whole committee. So that is something that you need to look at. And this IC has got the same power as a court under the Code of Civil Procedures, please remember, and which has lots of powers, and which can also summon anybody. Like any other court, you can also summon anybody to come and stand before and give witness. Okay. So this is something that doesn't happen most of the time. And any record, if the committee says I need this record, that can be produced before the committee, and the committee has got all the powers. So just now there was a question how about the aggrieved woman, about the complaint to be done. So you need to prepare 6 copies of the complaint, and the same complaint, 6 copies, just because you can also give it to the 1 copy will go to the respondent. Respondent is the person who has harassed. Okay, so one copy would go to the respondent, but other copies would be for the office and also for the committee members. Okay, and this complaint can be done within 3 months of the last incident. Please remember that any incident that is happening, there is some harassment going on, and after the last incident, there was an incident happened, and after within 3 months, the complaint should be lodged. And if the complaint is not lodged, then uh, it is evident that this aggrieved woman was either not able to do it or was not willing to do it. So these 2 things will be there, and it is the committee who has to decide if they have to take any complaint after 3 months. And if she was really sick because of the sexual harassment, she was sick, and she was bedridden, then she can be permitted to give that complaint even after that. Okay. Any questions so far? any complaint, if there is any complaint and complaint is filed in before the IC, the complaint should be completed, inquiry should be completed, and the report should be submitted within 90 days of receiving that complaint. And the respondent or the male on whom the complaint is lodged should be also alerted about the complaint getting over, and sorry, the inquiry getting over. And if there is anything that he has to, if he is satisfied, or even if the aggrieved woman, if she is not satisfied, she can also go to the court of law in spite of the proceedings of the IC. IC might have given some judgment, but if both of them feel that they need to go to the court of law, they can go to the court of law. Yeah, if the respondent fails to attend before the committee in spite of 3 consecutive repeated in notice, if he doesn't appear, then the judgment can be ex parte, and they can go ahead and give the judgment. Okay, now I'm going to straight to the what kind of recommendation, if the committee IC feels that this is not happened right, or the respondent has committed some mistake, then they can go ahead under the service rule, okay, and file. And again, the employer can go ahead and say that this is a misconduct that has happened, and so action can be taken under that. And the IC can also recommend for an apology letter, an apology, that oral apology can also be there. Permission can be withheld, and any increment that is there for that man can be also withheld. Counseling sessions can be organized for this man, and both parties can need to agree for this. If it is counseling session, and if the lady says, aggrieved woman says, no, 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 I am not happy with the counseling, please go ahead and do the inquiry, then the IC should go ahead with the inquiry. Okay, any financial damages, if the lady, aggrieved woman, is hospitalized, and if she feels that I'm sick and I cannot, everything happened just because of this man. If the aggrieved woman feels that it is because of the respondent I am hospitalized, and if it is proved, then all the financial damages that happened to her, maybe her leave and whatever the period that she is not able to do work, all these can be recouped from that man based on the final judgment. Okay, and as far as the aggrieved woman is concerned, if the IC says, okay, we will call for a counseling session, and we will invite both the respondent and the aggrieved woman, and make some via media where we will discuss how much to pay, and we will close the issue here itself. Do you think we can go ahead with that? Come on, respond quick.
No,
Yes or
ma'am.
no?
No,
Why
ma'am.
no? Why no?
Because the
Hema,
justice
tell
should
me,
be
why
given to
no?
the, yeah, the justice should be given to the woman, ma'am. It's not,
Okay,
the
even she
use,
says, oh, if she says, okay, because I have filed this case, and if you give me so much, I will close the case. If she says that, you are okay?
No, madam. Again, there is a possibility she may repeat the same thing and he may repeat the same thing.
Okay. What will she do? What will she repeat? She doesn't repeat anything, no?
No, because of money, she may claim unnecessary, even though that is not genuine case, she may raise such a type of the allegation against any other person
Okay.
for the sake of money.
Okay. Thank you. Thank you for responding, Anil and Hema. We should not go for any financial settlements. Okay. There is no such provision for financial settlements. And it is happening right now. There are so many organizations which calls for financial settlements. I remember one of the, he was working for some department, um, labor department, and he asked me. There was a organization, some organization that was a private sector, where a false complaint was lodged against him by a lady uh, on visiting that premises. This lady was sexually harassed, and this man was literally dragged through the, up to the directorate. And so finally, these people, the private sector uh, organization, whatever private office head, he was having some trouble with this man, and so he called this lady and made her, uh, have this, write this complaint against him. And all that was finally, when it was settled, she was also punished for doing that, and even the private sector person was also punished. So all these can happen. So only thing is, it takes a lot of time, and don't get into a hurry and say, actually this person, the labor officer who was visiting this place, he said, ಏನೋ ಒಂಚೂರು ದುಡ್ಡು ಕೊಟ್ಬಿಟ್ಟು ಸೆಟಲ್ ಮಾಡ್ಬಿಡ್ತೀನಿ ಮೇಡಮ್, ತಲೆ ಕೆಟ್ಟೋಗ್ಬಿಡುತ್ತೆ. So it was like, he was literally struck. He said, I want to just get rid of all this. But it is not an answer. You can't say that it is an answer. So go ahead, don't worry about the time. Yes, it is going to take a toll, but go ahead and face it and fight for justice. That is what I want to tell you. And if there is any false accusation that is happening, even if the lady, she has filed a false complaint, she will equally be punished, penalized, based on the service rules also applies to her. And she can also be punished according to this act. She is also equally punished. Okay, before we close, yeah, anybody in this committee, they should be very confidential. It's not that today you got a complaint, and every committee member would start telling, oh, she has given a complaint, and oh, see how she has given a complaint and all. No, you should be very strictly confidential on whatever the complaint is, and go through the inquiry process. And it's not that you can disclose what is happening in each of that. And if any such things happen again, action will be taken against that member, committee member. Okay, I will close this by showing you the last slide. Yeah. every year by December, November itself, I want all of you to please send this copy. If there is if anybody asks for a report, this is the report that you have to give. And so you can take a snapshot of this and keep it for your, and whatever I have filled in red letter, it is a dummy thing for you to know. Okay, name of the office, address, reported by IC for the year 2024-25. Okay, number of complaints received. So you need to mention how many complaints were received by that office, IC, for that year, and number of complaints disposed of. If there is any complaints that is not disposed, it comes in the third column. That is number of cases pending for more than 90 days. I said 90 days is the time for inquiry and giving the final judgment. Okay, and the fourth column is number of workshops, awareness programs conducted in that year. So you need to mention what is the number of workshops. And the last column is nature of action taken by the employer or the district officer. District officer is DC when it comes to LC. LC is local committee. And employer takes when it comes to IC, internal committee. Okay. And so like transfer, suspension, apology. So you can mention, yes, in that, the recommendation given was an apology, or recommendation given was a transfer. So you can mention that. Is this okay? It is no voice from the other side. So I'm not able to understand if you people are okay with this. You're following it, or?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Ma'am, following.
Okay, ma'am.
Not following?
Yes,
We
ma'am.
following. No, ma'am, following.
Okay.
Yes, ma'am, following.
Yes,
Okay,
ma'am.
okay. Thank you. And before I hang up, I will give you a small case study of one of the IAS senior officer, Rupan Diol Bajaj. She was, there was some sexual harassment against KPS Gill. If you have heard about KPS Gill earlier, he was the topmost, police officer of Punjab. And what this man does is, in a party, what he literally he sits, this IAS officer Rupandiyal Bajaj, she was sitting with somebody and having a chat, while KPS Gill goes and sits and touches her, pats her leg and says, come, we will have a meeting in that party. So he wants to take her out from that place. So she was not happy when he touched her thighs. It was not leg, it was thighs. And so she almost said, please don't do this. And again he does it. And so that is when she was offended, and she files a complaint. And that is, the complaint takes a long time. And finally in 2005, before this act came in, it got resolved. Even KPS Gill's, some of the medals were also taken back, according to the press release, just because he did that to an IAS officer, and it was very bad. And according to him, he says, they are all small kids. And so what if I touch her? But every woman doesn't look at the same way. So please behave yourself. Please do not think that others would not think wrong about you. Okay. And you cannot misbehave in front of any female employees in your office. And I still feel, there are so many people who keep telling, uh, I dress up in the morning and I come to my office, and uh, whenever I come, I get so many people, you know, uh, complimenting me, and I feel so good. Ladies, please stop feeling happy about being complimented. You, even if you are getting compliments, please tell them, no thanks. I have people at home who are going to compliment me. Okay, so with this, I think all of you, you need to be aware. You need to say that we are not going to be, pampered because someone on the street are going to compliment me. Oh, madam, your jhumka is good. What if my jhumka is good? That jhumka is for me, and I wear it because I like it. So don't ever think that people should compliment you. Your people at home is going to compliment you, and feel good that your people at home is complimenting, not people on the street or in your office. And please don't dress up because someone in your office wants to look at you. There is a college, a government college principal who keeps nagging his typist, a lady. Whenever this lady comes in, he says, oh, ಏನಮ್ಮ ಇವತ್ತು ಸೀರೆ ಯಾಕೆ ಉಟ್ಕೊಂಡು ಬರ್ಲಿಲ್ಲ? So it is like, strange. He is looking at her dress, or he wants to look at how she is working. You're supposed to look at her work, not her dress. And please don't accept any of that. And all the men out here, antennas up, remember, you are not supposed to say this. And if you feel that, oh, my tongue, every time I keep telling my tongue, it slips from my tongue, don't do that. It is not appropriate, and it is not called for. And if she files a complaint against you, then you will have to face it. That's it. Don't do it. You compliment your wife and your mother and your sister and anybody at home, not people on the street or in your office. Stop it, if at all. And there was one man who's officer who said, madam, but whenever I come to my office, the lady officers compliment me. They say, sir, today you are looking so smart. Don't get pampered again. Okay, there might be lady officers who think that they want to just take you on a ride. Don't get pampered. Just say, thank you, my wife has said this, thank you, I know that. That's enough. Okay, as and when you say, okay, give me some more compliments, people will keep giving you fake compliments. It is not real, it is not true. They don't give you real picture. Okay, even if you look like an unwanted person, they would say, oh, you are the best. So please stop that. That is the first thing that you have to do with respect to this act. Another thing is, respect everyone, everyone on the go. Don't ever think that you are giving so much. No, respect everyone, be it male, be it female. They have come for work. Don't say that, oh, female cannot lift this, female cannot do this work. No, if they are getting the salary, they are supposed to do that work. if that work is supposed to be done by them. Okay, so with this, I want to close. Thank you so much for being a quiet listeners. I don't